Now on 12, a new report by the mayor's office outlines the failures of the Bronx district attorney when compared to his peers throughout the city's 5 boroughs. The NYPD has been ordered to stop making trespass stops outside certain privately owned Bronx buildings. We'll explain why in your Bronx News that starts right now.
As local news gets, News 12, the Bronx.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Kevin McKay. Bronx DA Robert Johnson is the longest-serving active district attorney in New York City. He made history when he became the first African-American district attorney in New York State back in 1989. But a recent report put out by the mayor's office also suggests that he may be the least effective DA in New York City. News 12's Rich Barabi explains in this 12 on Crime report.
Bronx District Attorney Robert Johnson has been criticized for his office's perceived failures for quite some time now, and a new report released by the mayor's office seems to back up those claims.
The number tells you something, but it doesn't really tell you anything.
What they do tell us is that the Bronx DA's office ranks dead last among several key categories of criminal justice. For instance, the Bronx was successful in jailing defendants accused of firearm felony charges just 31% of the time. That's compared to 76% in Queens. 47% of high-risk felony defendants were released before facing trial in our borough. The city average is far less than that. And the Bronx also had the longest average time period from when a person is arrested to their arraignment. Johnson says that while the numbers are accurate, the report does not take into account certain variables between boroughs, such as the amount of available judges and a backlog of cases.
When you include pleas and trial convictions, the Bronx is in line with the rest of the city. In fact, it's not 5th, it's 4th.
And the DA says he believes the report would have painted a clearer picture if the numbers had been based on the amount of indictments rather than the amount of arrests.
If you look at it from indictment as we have, you'll see that the Bronx has an 88% conviction rate, which is in line within a couple of percentage points of the rest of the city.
2 additional indicator reports will be released by the mayor's office later this year. Rich Barabi, News 12, the Bronx.
Time for our weather on the 2s, and right over to Stacey Ann. We got a good week going here so far, Stacey Ann.
Yes, we are on a roll, Kevin. As you can see across the entire U.S., with the exception of areas like Oklahoma, down in toward portions of the Gulf states, including Texas. Some rain, some thunderstorms, but we're not getting any of that. As a matter of fact, we have mild air staying with us. We do have a weak cold front that's slated to arrive later this week. That could yield us some showers come Friday, but other than that, pretty pleasant conditions south of the jet stream, milder air. North of the jet stream, we have much cooler air. And speaking of cooler air, it's actually going to be downright cold overnight with temperatures falling to around 36 degrees. We have a few clouds out and about, and it'll be that just for the overnight. So we are not looking at any wet weather for the overnight, mostly clear, leading to partly sunny skies come Saturday, or rather Wednesday, with temperatures at around 50 degrees. I'll tell you what's in store for the next 3 days and 9.
Thanks, Stacey Ann. This week's warm weather is our question of the day. Will it motivate you to call out sick, walk in the park, or you're just not motivated at all? You can vote at news12.com or channel 612. Soundview Auto Repair Shop is burnt to a crisp by a fast-moving fire. Take a look at this exclusive cell phone video. Shows the moment the car exploded at the new Check Plus garage on Ward Avenue. Fire officials say the 2-alarm fire quickly spread to neighboring cars until more than 100 firefighters were able to contain it. Con Ed crews were on hand to turn off the gas as a safety measure. Mechanics at the shop were working on the vehicle when the car exploded, but the fire chief says no one was injured.
Fire started inside the garage. They were working on a vehicle. Apparently it caught fire and then spread to a couple other vehicles inside the garage and then spread to the roof and then engulfed the roof in fire.
The auto shop will not be operable anytime soon. The Department of Buildings is inspecting the location and will determine when it can reopen. On Tuesday, 3 more Bronx schools were added to the list of ones the Department of Education wants to phase out next year. Those are the Performance School, PS 230 and PS 50. That makes it 8 schools facing phase-outs in the Bronx. Department of Education says the schools have low student academic performance and school report cards. The other schools in Pearl: Lehman High School, MS 203, PS 64, Jonathan Levin High School for Media and Mass Communications, and MS 142. Parents and students at these schools say they're disappointed to hear that their schools might be shutting down.
It's like they're giving up on everybody in that building, and it's sad.
I don't think it's a good thing. It's been a staple in our community for several years now, so I don't think it's a good thing. I think they should save it.
City Councilman James Vaca also spoke out against the school closure, saying, "I say this is the DOE's fault, not the fault of the teachers, administrators, or students at Lehman High School, and I will fight with everything I have to keep this school open." I'm Kevin McCabe. Coming up, find out why a judge is limiting some stop and frisks in the Bronx. Plus, sanitation officials and community members will meet to address an issue that's hard to control, dog waste. Find out where it's a problem next.
I'll be right out.
Got a little time on your hands? Make the most of it with News 12 on your smartphone.
Just a few more, honey. Ooh, these are cute. Just another minute.
Breaking news, local weather, and everything you love about News 12 on any mobile device the moment it happens.
Isn't this fun? This is perfect for your cousin's wedding.
With News 12 on your smartphone or iPad, you can make the most of your time anytime.
How does it look?
It's amazing.
When the Donovans switched to Fios, they lost their beloved News 12. So they switched back to Optimum. Now they're welcoming home News 12 and all its award-winning local news, traffic, and weather with open arms.
Just get this out of your way. It's just my mom.
I was just gonna. Oh, yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah.
Can you make tomorrow a snow day?
No.
How about the next day?
Don't lose the local news you've trusted for years. News 12. On TV, online, on the go. Only on Cablevision.
Honey, we're gonna need some more depth.
Well, looking ahead at the rest of the day's weather, you'll note... Can I help you? Well, I thought we're doing weather in twos now. No, it's weather on the twos. News 12 is weather on the twos. I get it.
News 12 The Bronx is weather on the twos. Only on Cablevision.
If you see breaking news or have an interesting event, call us at 718-861-6800 or email us news12bx@news12.com.
A major blow to the NYPD and its controversial stop and frisk policy. A judge ruled Tuesday that officers cannot stop people in the Bronx under many circumstances. News 12's Matt Piper breaks down the ruling and speaks to those in the middle.
There's stories of stop and frisk heard often here in the Bronx.
They had stopped me. They was asking me if I live here. They was trying to see if I had any weapons. I was part of any gang or anything.
Angel lives here in a private building that is part of the NYPD's Operation Clean Halls, which allows officers to come in and stop and frisk whoever they want, no matter what the person is doing. But a federal judge on Tuesday ordered the police department to put an end to making stops at these types of buildings without reasonable suspicion. The judge saying it's simply not enough for a police officer to have a so-called hunch about a person to perform a search.
It's a shame that it actually has to come to a money thing in order for them to actually make a difference and make a change. It's been going on for quite some time.
The news comes after a lawsuit filed in March by citizens, some of whom live in this East 163rd Street building, against the NYPD about the stop and frisk policy. Jerome Brown says his family is part of that suit.
It happened, and it happened to my family, so, you know, and it was unjust to my family. So that, you know, that's the reason why.
The New York Civil Liberties Union, also a part of the lawsuit, saying, quote, today's decision is a major step toward dismantling the NYPD's stop and frisk regime. So the judge's press office called this kind of like a temporary restraining orders in buildings like this one here on East 163rd Street. It's not stopping altogether, but for the time being, NYPD officers will not be able to stop and frisk at buildings like this one that participate in Operation Clean Halls, at least until more is decided in the court system. The next court date on this issue is set for January 31st. On East 163rd Street, I'm Matt Piper, News 12, The Bronx.
In response to the ruling, Police Commissioner Ray Kelly says the Clean Halls program is done at the request of landlords, protecting the interest of their tenants. And the ruling unnecessarily interferes with the department's ability to fight crime. 4 men accused of shooting an off-duty police officer in the Bronx last week will be in court on Wednesday. Officer Juan Picardo was shot in the leg defending his family's used car shop. He was released from the hospital over the weekend. The suspects, Ray Sean Jones, Tyquez Harrell, Jeffrey Okin, and Marquis Daniel, are facing multiple felony charges. 2 Bronx men are in jail for allegedly stealing $41,000 worth of jewelry from the warehouse store at Sam's Clubs. This is Jeffrey Knight from Crotona Park East and Efren Febo from Mott Haven. Cops say they broke into the store in Westchester County the morning after Christmas. They pushed the back door open and took the jewelry. They were caught about a week later. Cops say Knight worked at Sam's Club at the time of the burglary. They will both be back in court on January 22nd. Last year, Bronxites received the most summons for stinky behavior, failing to pick up dog waste. Sanitation Department Consumer Affairs Officer Ignacio Terranova met with the Pelham Parkway Community Association on Tuesday night to address the issue. It's hard for people to get caught in the act of failing to scoop poop, and hard for neighbors to speak out, too.
People complain about it, but what we really need from people, in addition to the complaints, are details. Who's doing it, when they're doing it, as much information as possible.
Well, Sanitation Community Affairs officials will also meet with the Bronx Park East Association on Thursday. To report someone leaving their dog's waste behind, you can go to 311 online and file a complaint. You enter the date, time, and location of the event and your contact information. Concourse Village is getting some new additions to the neighborhood, one of which is hoping to get Bronxites in better shape. Blink Gym is getting ready to open its 3rd location in the borough. It's one of many new establishments coming to the area intended to revitalize the district. Just around the corner, the food court at the Concourse Plaza is also getting a facelift. Blink's manager says she's excited to be a part of the changes and improvements coming to Concourse Village.
Seeing the great opportunity that now that we've kind of extended ourselves to a more affordable rate, we thought that being in the Bronx would be our best opportunity to really embrace the community and kind of fill the void for the need for fitness and health.
The gym is expected to open for business this weekend. It's still unclear when the food court renovations will be finished. All right, good things going down there in Concourse Village. Yeah, I know, the food court. Then you use the food court, then you got to go to the gym afterwards.
Yes,
It makes sense to me.
That's right. Perfect combination right there. One-stop shop. You don't have to
Perfect
go far.
combination on our weather, too.
Yes, we're talking about pretty warm conditions, unseasonably mild during the day, but it is going to be quite cold overnight. So don't get too comfortable and forget the jacket, the heavy winter coats, because you'll need it, especially during the overnight. And don't forget the gloves and the hats and the scarves, all that stuff to keep you nice and warm. In terms of temperatures, we'll be bottoming out in the 30s, as you can see. We'll stay dry right through the overnight. We have a few clouds filtering in, not a whole lot of action there, 36. By 9 a.m., though, we'll be in the upper 30s, flirting with that 40-degree mark, and we'll surpass that 40-degree mark come noon. It'll be nice and pleasant, comfortable conditions these next few days, although we do have a cold front coming through. It's going to be a weak one, so it's not going to bring those temperatures down too much. In fact, just a few degrees. We'll still be in the upper 40s, which is still well above where we should be this time of year. By Friday, we expect some rain to head our way. Doesn't look like any severe weather is expected. In fact, we'll get some sunshine in the mix. Nice little mixture happening there. And again, temperatures in the 30s these next few overnights. However, those overnight temperatures will eventually get bumped up a little bit, and we'll show you that in the 7-day forecast, which is less than 10 minutes away. Your next look at your forecast will be 7 minutes away. We'll talk more about the overnight, more about your Wednesday. Back over to you, Kevin.
Thanks, Stacey Ann. I'm Kevin McCabe. Also coming up, we're learning more about what New York needs to do to prevent storms like Sandy from damaging our area again. Plus, former Bronx Councilman Larry Seabrook is going to jail. Find out how long and hear reaction from the man who's taken his council seat.
Hi, Sarah Owens. I'm here for my 3 o'clock.
Yeah, the doctor's running a little bit late today, but you could just go ahead and make yourself comfortable.
Why is it that your 3 o'clock never happens at 3 o'clock? Now, extra time isn't wasted time with News 12 on your smartphone or iPad.
Yeah, he saw you.
It's the News 12 The Bronx that you love.
The time now is 3:50.
Anywhere, anytime you want it.
Miss Owens, the doctor will see you now.
I'll be there in a moment.
News 12 The Bronx. That's as local news gets. News 12 The Bronx is the one weather to watch.
News 12 is now weather on the 2s.
Watch me for the weather in your borough on the 2s.
All day, the forecast in your neighborhood on the 2s.
All night, News 12 is the one weather to watch.
News 12 The Bronx is weather on the 2s. News 12 The Bronx, only on Cablevision, never on Fios, never on satellite.
Well, looking ahead at the rest of the day's weather, you'll note. Can I help you? Well, I thought we're doing weather in 2s now. No, it's weather on the 2s. News 12 is weather on the 2s. I get it.
News 12 The Bronx is weather on the 2s, only on Cablevision. The News 12 app for your iPhone has a new look, new features, and all your local news, weather, and traffic. Download it today, free from the App Store.
If you see breaking news or have an interesting event, call us at 718-861-6800 or email us news12bx@news12.com.
A disgraced Bronx lawmaker will be reporting to jail instead of City Hall this March. Ex-councilman Larry Seabrook was sentenced by a federal judge Tuesday. Seabrook used to represent the Northeast Bronx, which includes Co-op City. That's where we find our Amy Yency with all the details.
Ex-councilman Larry Seabrook has been sentenced to 5 years behind bars for misdirecting public funds. Tuesday's verdict in federal court echoes the sentiments of another jury, his former constituents.
I'm sorry for him and his family, but he's supposed to get more time in jail.
Last summer, Seabrook was convicted of funneling more than $2 million to his illegitimate nonprofit organizations. Now he will have to pay back more than $619,000 that were misdirected from 2002 to 2009 and serve time in jail. Councilman Andy King was recently elected to replace Seabrook. He says the ruling shows that no one is above the law.
I think that the people who were responsible for making those decisions made the decision that they felt was right.
Cynthia Asari has been following the veteran politician's fall from grace. She says the punishment doesn't fit the crime.
Maybe they've not been caught, but most of them do it. So right now he's a scapegoat.
But the final blow to the Seabrook legacy means an opportunity for King to focus on those who have been lost in the political shuffle, the people of the 12th District.
Now, to give you a sense of the scope of influence that Seabrook had prior to this court case, he served in the state legislature and assembly before the city council. Now the judge has ordered him to surrender by March 8th. Reporting from Co-op City, Amy Yency, News 12, The Bronx.
The National Rifle Association says it will meet with Vice President Joe Biden this week to discuss the issue of gun violence. President Obama gave Biden the task of coming up with recommendations in the wake of the deadly shootings in Newtown, Connecticut. The NRA is just one of many groups who have been invited. Soon after the meetings wrap up, the group will present recommendations to the president. There are quick, simple things to do that New York City can prevent devastation from another storm like Sandy. That's what an expert panel examining the superstorm's impact on our city concluded. Some of those preventative measures include floodgates for tunnels, subways, and airports, as well as safe havens or shelters. 205-page report also calls for 2 more tunnels out of Manhattan, a rapid bus system, and 1 more Long Island Railroad track. Governor Cuomo will talk about the plan and more on Wednesday's State of the State address. You can watch it live here on News 12 The Bronx at 1:30 p.m. In your 12 on Health report, would you use Facebook to find out how you got the flu? Well, now you can with a new app from the social media site. It's called Help I Have the Flu, and it lets Facebook search through your friends or family members' status to find keywords such as coughing or sneezing. It also goes through places they have checked in, like the doctor's office. Now you can see who may have gotten you sick or who you should avoid. People we spoke with say, app or no app, they will take the usual steps to stay germ-free.
Definitely get your flu shot. This way you can prevent. Make sure you cover yourself, your neck, your head's got to be warm, your feet's got to be warm, and your hands got to be warm. And if you do those 3 things, you can prevent it.
The app also allows you to send a message warning your Facebook friends that they may have gotten you sick, or to send them some remedies so they can feel better. I'm Kevin McCabe. You're watching News 12 The Bronx. Still ahead in sports, Rex Ryan and the Jets Brain Trust finally break their silence. Find out what they have to say about the future of Gang Green. But first, here's Stacey Ann. Good future in the weather department.
Yes, it is. You know, Kevin, it's going to be a mostly clear night. A few clouds moving across our skies, 36 degrees. It's going to be quite chilly, so be sure to bundle up. And by the time we get into Wednesday, by the afternoon, 50 degrees. Some areas, if we're lucky, will even surpass that 50-degree mark. A little bit breezy. Will those temperatures get higher? Will there be rain? I'll let you know in your 7-day 2 minutes away. I'll be right out.
Got a little time on your hands? Make the most of it with News 12 on your smartphone.
Just a few more, honey. Ooh, these are cute. Just another minute.
Breaking news, local weather, and everything you love about News 12 on any mobile device the moment it happens.
Isn't this fun? This is perfect for your cousin's wedding.
With News 12 on your smartphone or iPad, you can make the most of your time anytime.
How does it look?
It's amazing.
When the Donovans switched to Fios, they lost their beloved News 12. So they switched back to Optimum. Now they're welcoming home News 12 and all its award-winning local news, traffic, and weather with open arms.
Just get this out of your way. It's just my mom.
I was just gonna, oh, yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah.
Can you make tomorrow a snow day?
No.
How about the next day?
Don't lose the local news you've trusted for years. News 12. On TV, online, on the go. Only on Cablevision.
Honey, we're gonna need some more depth.
Well, looking ahead at the rest of the day's weather, you'll note. Can I help you? Well, I thought we're doing weather in twos now. No, it's weather on the twos. News 12 is weather on the twos. I get it.
News 12 The Bronx is weather on the twos. Only on Cablevision.
If you see breaking news or have an interesting event, call us at 718-861-6800 or email us news12bx@news12.com.
All right, back to our weather on the twos again, and I don't get tired of this forecast, Stacey Ann.
Yeah, neither do I. And I don't get tired, Kevin, of looking at this beautiful picture either. Of the Whitestone Bridge in the background with the sun setting. This photo sent to us by Bigaloo Bruno. It was very nice to send us this picture. By the way, you can also tweet me your pics. And there's my handle right there, StaceyNG12. So don't forget about that. Anyway, let's get down to the weather, shall we? We are looking at dry air. That's going to be entrenched for the next couple of days or so. In fact, it looks like the next chance for rain won't be until about Friday. So have the umbrella on standby. Right now, though, a few clouds working across the area. Not a whole lot. Overnight temperatures are expected to bottom out to around 36 in Kingsbridge and Mott Haven, a little less chilly in Soundview and Throgs Neck at 37. And milder temperatures again for your Wednesday. We'll be topping out at around 50 degrees. And if you think that's great, wait till you get a load of the weekend numbers. Take a look at our 7-day right now. We are experiencing a little bit of a dip. Thursday, Friday, and that's because of a weak cold front coming through, but by Saturday and Sunday, we'll be well into the 50s. If we're lucky, we may come close or may even hit 60. It's a little bit of a stretch, I know, but we'll see how it works out. Anyway, overnight temperatures are expected also to climb up into the 40s, so milder air will be in place once again the weekend into the start of the work week, and then another dip. After that, we'll have more in less than 10. Kevin.
Stacey Ann. Well, if you haven't recycled your Christmas tree yet, chipping sites will be open Wednesday to turn it all into mulch. It's all part of the city's collection program. You can also get it collected from the curb until Saturday. Remember, all ornaments and other items must be removed. Trees are put on the curbs, and residents are told not to put them in plastic bags. See any of that information again. Log on to news12.com, click on numbers and links. Pat O'Keefe here now with sports, and he hasn't gotten rid of his tree yet. I mean, what are you waiting for?
It's sitting outside of my house. I just got to figure out when they're going to come by and pick it up.
Okay, we'll let you go with that.
I don't think the city's going to help me out since I don't live in city limits. But
Pat, some teams, they're great in the regular season, and then just in the playoffs, what happens?
Being good in the regular season does count for something. We haven't seen like that here in the Bronx, Kevin. Regular season has actually been a breeze for Fannie Lou Hamer. Just listen to these records: 13-2, 15-5, 17-1 the last 3 years. But each year, playoff losses for the Panthers. Tuesday, they get off to a fast start at South Bronx Prep in our MSG Varsity High School sports report. But South Bronx Prep doesn't give up. Here they are in the second quarter, and watch the finish. Eric Vargas count the basket. but they would have to climb out of a 40-14 deficit. Maybe they would. Third quarter, Sydney Curlew with the steal, and the finish fires up the gym. After 3, the lead is down to 20. But whenever South Bronx gets close, Fannie Lou pulls away. Corey Morgan knocking down his jumper, a game-high 24 points, and the Panthers do it from deep. Isaiah Thomas, not that Isaiah Thomas, a three-pointer. Fannie Lou still perfect in the league, beating South Bronx Prep 87-54.
I feel like we're playing harder now. We came out focused and determined. We were playing defense the whole game.
They did a great job. I just think next time we have to play a little harder and play with our own.
At 4-11, Fordham University tips off its conference schedule Wednesday as the Rams host Duquesne. Now, these games dictate whether Fordham will make the Atlantic 10 tournament at Barclays Center this year. No class because of winter break, so the Rams with 2 practices on Tuesday. Intensity is high. The conference last year sent 4 teams to the NCAA tournament, including NBA talent like Andrew Nicholson of St. Bonaventure. He's now with the Orlando Magic. So players say the next 2 months will not be easy.
They all could be top 25 teams, and our conference is very well known for getting people into the tournament.
After you play your non-conference season, you're scheduled, you move on to your conference schedule, hopefully your conference tournament, and then if you're a very good team, you get to play in the postseason.
After much anticipation, much speculation, much ballyhoo, the Jets finally broke their silence on Tuesday. Rex Ryan and Woody Johnson speaking for the first time since wrapping up a 6-10 season more than a week ago. It was standing room only for the press conference in Florham Park, and what we learned is despite the disappointment of the past 2 seasons, the Jets have lost 13 of their last 19 games. Not much is going to change. Ryan remains secure as the team's head coach, and he'll even have some input in selecting the team's new general manager, who will be his boss.
This is a new chance for me, and that's how I'm approaching it. And this is a beginning. It's certainly not an end. That's not how I'm looking at it. This is a beginning.
The only way you're going to get better is admitting what you're not good, what you haven't done so far. If you just kind of gloss over it, you're not going to get better. And then one of the things that impresses me about Rex as a leader is that he knows where he wants to improve, and he's committed to do that, and I trust him.
So there you go. After 4 years in New York, it sounds like it's a new beginning for Rex Ryan.
All right, you go, Rex. Everybody likes Rex. How can you not like the guy?
Yeah, he certainly makes our job a lot more interesting.
He certainly does. Thanks, Pat. I'm Kevin McCabe. Coming up, a new report by the mayor's office outlines the failures of the Bronx district attorney when compared to his peers throughout the city's 5 boroughs. But first, take another look at our question of the day. You can still vote at news12.com or channel 612.
If you see breaking news or have an interesting event, call us at 718-861-6800 or email us news12bx@news12.com.